is cherry season, so what better way to celebrate this season than making a cherry pie? First up, we better get on with that pastry. So today I'm following a slightly different recipe. In this bowl, I've got 2.5 cups of flour and a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna give it a quick whisk and mix it all together. Now, if you followed some of our other recipes like apple pie, oh, how good is that?
Do you want a bit of Daddy's?
Definitely my daughter. I really like that. The spices give it a nice little warm undertone. And it's like, And with the ice cream, it just complements it really well and it's really smooth. The apples just like melt in your mouth.
With the apple pie, we always made an all butter pastry. So this is actually butter and shortening. So I'm hoping it's gonna be as good, but apparently it produces quite a nice flaky pastry. I've got my chilled shortening and my chilled cubed butter. We're just gonna cut that in with the pastry cutter now. Recipe says we just want to resemble pea-sized crumbs. Now we have some crumbs in there, we need to add in our iced water. So I'm just gonna grab that out of the freezer. Now we've got 1/2 cup of iced water and we're just gonna add a tablespoon at a time and stir it until this dough forms some large clumps. Now, when we've made pastry before, quite a few of you in the chat have said about adding vodka. Now I did read that vodka does actually speed up the gluten process and helps to make a flaky kind of pastry. So that's one thing I will have to give a try, but let me know if you've tried a vodka in your pastry before. It does certainly sound interesting. I'm going to be completely honest. The smell of the shortening is putting me off a little bit because I do actually like it when we make the buttery pastry because you can smell all the butter and it smells really good. I'm just getting wafts of the kind of shortening in this and I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy it as much, but I will reserve judgment until we do that final taste test. We've got a little bit of water left, but it does say to stop adding water when your dough is forming large clumps, and it's very important not to keep adding water because otherwise you'll get the wrong consistency. So I'm going to stop around now and we're going to work this with our hands. Okay, now we're going to work with our hands to fold the dough onto itself just to make sure all the flour is incorporated. Okay, I'm happy with that. I can feel the butters are starting to melt a little bit, so I don't want to overwork it with my hands. And I don't think we need to add any more water because although it is flaky, it's not too crumbly, so I don't want to add any more water and make it too sticky, and I don't want to add any more flour and make it too dry. Now I'm just going to cut this into 2 halves. This recipe is for 2 pie cases, so in our case we are doing a closed pie with a top, so this will work perfectly. But I do like making pastry, and I did read that this will keep for up to 5 days in the freezer before you start working it. So it's always better to make a little bit extra pastry because you never know when you're going to want to make a pie. I'm just going to pop these in a bit of plastic wrap and put them back in the freezer for a couple of hours until I'm ready to make that pie. Baby brain has well and truly kicked in because I was talking about putting the pie dough back in the freezer, but what I meant is the refrigerator. So everything I just said, ignore that completely. But I'm going to get on with that cherry filling whilst the pie dough is chilling. I'm actually going to be cheating a little bit and using frozen cherries because the fresh cherries that I like are quite sweet. And I did read that for a cherry pie, you want kind of a bit of a tart or sour cherry. So I'm using Morello cherries today. Another reason why I'm using frozen cherries is because I'm a little bit lazy and I didn't fancy pitting all of those cherries as well. Into the cherries we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a teaspoon of vanilla, Erin, the Mexican vanilla is still going strong, and 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Now I love over here cherry bakewells. Do you get them over there stateside? So they've got almond in them as well, and obviously cherry, but I think it's a bit of an artificial cherry taste. But they are so good, and I think the almond really brings out the taste of the cherry and vice versa. A lot of you have said in some recipes, almond extract, just pop a little bit in and it really brings out some flavour. So I'm excited to see how this one goes today. So 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. We're just gonna mix that all together. I'm just going to cover these delicious looking cherries and pop it back in the refrigerator whilst I'm waiting for that pie dough to chill. We're ready to roll out this dough. So I've got a 9-inch glass pie dish. And it says to roll this out to about 12 inches. Hope for the best. So what we like to say on this channel is we aren't chefs, if you've probably worked that one out. We're just a British family who really enjoy American food. So most of our pies end up looking a little bit rustic because we just want to taste a little flavour of America. So we bring that back to our kitchen here in the UK and try to taste a little bit of America where we can. Now we need to pop the pie filling in. So we've got our cherries doing nicely. Oh, they look glorious. Does tell me to use a slotted spoon here so that we can reserve some of this juice. I'm just going to pop this back into the refrigerator whilst I get on with reducing down some of that leftover cherry juice. So there's not actually much juice left, but what is left is going into this saucepan. And we're just going to heat it for about 3 to 5 minutes so it thickens up a little bit, and then we're going to add it back to that pie. We've allowed the juice from the filling to cool down now. We're just going to pour it back over the cherry pie. Not sure if this next step's going to work, but it says to attempt to mix it all together. Just don't want to go putting my spoon through the pie dough base, and then this should all start to thicken nicely. Back into the refrigerator again this goes. That bottom pie crust needs a friend, so we're going to roll out the top pie crust. I'm going to be using another one of these pie toppers that was kindly sent to us by Scott Jones. This one's got cherries on it, so I think it would be rather apt. One thing I nearly forgot to do with this pie is I've got some butter to pop little dabs on it before I pop the case over the top. So I'm just going to pop some butter on here. It was all going so well, and then as always I get to do the crimping of the pie crust and they just go to pot. I know I did that crimping wrong, but I'm up against it for time. I am just going to quickly make an egg wash to pop on this, and then we're going to pop it into the oven. This is now going into the oven for 20 minutes on 400 degrees Fahrenheit before I drop the temperature to 375 degrees and bake for another 30 minutes.
Taste test time!
Well, we do need a bit of that lovely whipped cream that Elana made us, so let's just pop some of that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
But on top or on the side?
I'm on the side.
Now, I'm a bit disappointed with the way that these came out of the pie dish. I think the filling was probably a little bit more runny than it should be. Maybe that's why it didn't work quite well. But let us know if you've got any tips for how to make a pie, because I never really can get a good pie slice out.
Again, it's all about the taste. I think Elana's one looks really good. I don't know if you can see that.
Don't show ours, it's a bit of a train smash, that one.
Hey, it's all about the taste. It's all about the taste.
Now, one thing we are doing is we're all wearing white tops, which I think is a little bit silly for this cherry pie. So Elana's going to pop a bib on, aren't you?
Yes, so I can't go around my top.
That's right. And if I had...
And your top is very big, so you won't get that.
Oh, and if we had bibs big enough for us, I think we'd wear one as well.
But it looks good. It smells good.
Does it taste good? Now, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And that's how I can go first.
I thought you'd say that. I would go first, darling. You go first. But make sure you have pie, not just cream.
Yeah, not just the cream, darling.
All right, so we're just basically going for cream again, are we? Yep. If you haven't figured out by now, Elana seems to love cream, whipped butter, anything of that dairy variety she'll eat on its own.
Well, who doesn't, really?
What's the cream like, darling? Okay, let me get you a bit of the cherry pie and the cream. Okay, try this mouthful. Ready?
Nice.
Oh, it's tummy rubbing good.
Tummy rubbing good, eh?
3.
3.
Oh, and a little daddy dance. Well, you better try, David.
Okay, not a massive fan of cherries. Probably not the right time to say that. It reminds me of a different dish.
Does it?
I'm not sure what though.
Can I ask you a question?
What's the taste?
This might give it away. Do you like cherry bakewells? Is it cherry bakewell?
I can't think what a cherry bakewell is.
You know the little cakes, Mr. Kipling cakes, and it's got the icing and the cherry on the top?
I don't normally have those.
No? Okay. Marzipan?
I'm getting a bit of the cherry or marzipan, which is actually really nice. Maybe it's the pastry. Something is reminding me of something.
But while you're figuring it out, I might actually have a bite.
Is there juice in this?
Well, it's just the juice from the natural cherries.
Is that all there is in this?
Well, and a bit of lemon extract and things.
Lemon. Lemon.
Well, that lemon is quite strong, isn't it, in it?
It is, but I like it.
It's quite tart. I think maybe it's reminding you a little bit of some of the apple pies with the lemon in.
It's actually more lemony than I can taste cherry. Does that make sense? Which isn't a bad thing. It's like the cherry.
Yeah.
It's like a secondary layer of flavour.
I can't taste the cherry as much, and I can taste a lot of the lemon. So I'm not sure if I like cherry pie. I mean, I'm going to eat it. I am enjoying it.
I'm really enjoying it.
But it's not my favourite pie.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I was trying to get my head round, or trying to work out what I was tasting. I think that tastes really good. I mean, as far as marks out of 10,
Yeah.
I can't go any lower than an 8.
Really?
No, seriously, I think it's really, really nice.
I'm going to go for a 7 on this one. Like I said, I'm enjoying it, but it's not actually like blowing my socks off, and I'm sure there is a better recipe. I've also got to say a thank you to somebody who popped in the comments to say about all American recipes are usually meant for like a traditional oven, and we have got a fan assisting, or I think you call it a convection oven. So we've been reducing the temperature by a certain amount of degrees Celsius and reducing the cook time, and this pie didn't come out burnt. So that might be the problem all along. Your recipes are for a traditional oven, and we have got a fan-assisted oven.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you loved it, subscribe. I'm going to put it just above Elana's head, just here. Hit that subscribe button and come and join our family. And all that leaves this little British family to say is...
Take care,
God bless.
and see y'all in the next video.